Just a body-worn camera for every officer last year with the help of a federal grant. I believe the federal funding on that was $16,000. That was about a 50% match on the body cameras. 2024 was our 6th year, believe it or not, of having a school resource officer, and it's been very beneficial for us having him in the school. We also started our detective community impact officer position in 2024. Started that in about September, and Jeff Kramer has been very busy since then, both on the investigative side and the community impact side, reaching out to individuals in the community and getting some of our community policing efforts moving. We started a trail safety program in 2024. That was short-lived. But the few months that we did it, or the 6 weeks that we did it, we got people out on the trails. They were volunteers. We had a golf cart that was donated to us, and in the past month or two, I would say over half of those volunteers have called me asking when can we get going again. So they're excited about getting back on the trail. So they work out a schedule between themselves, and then we coordinate that with the police department, and they go out and they report any deficiencies to the trail, any safety issues, and they take water with them. They hand out water, and it's just a good tool to have out there.
Is there a de facto head of that group?
Not yet. I'm hoping this year one of the volunteers will actually say, "Hey, I'd like to be in charge."
Okay.
So I
I'd
think
just like to recognize that person.
There's not yet, and I got a few people that I think might do it, but we'll see.
It is a fun experience.
Yeah.
I handed out a lot of water.
You hand out a lot of water. I know Mark is one of them. We probably had a dozen volunteers that signed up, and they can go online and they slot themselves into a schedule, and they have a good time with it. On a statistical overview, I would say crimes against people, property crimes, and traffic stops increased in 2024. We had 3 homicides in 2024. Prior to last year, on average, we have a homicide once every 5 to 7 years. We want to get back into that routine, hoping. And we had about 3,000 community police contacts in 2025, which represents about 10% of our overall activity on the department. So that's officers getting out of their car, walking through a business, or getting out of the car, hopping out of the car and talking to kids at a city park, just something with community engagement. And they document that on a call sheet. On to page 4, I'll go down to my goals. I'm not going to cover all of them. We want to look for some grants to help with equipment that we want to purchase in this next fiscal year. Again, continue with the recreational trail that was started in 2024. We want to review our department policies and procedures. Myself and Justin have been working on them, and we're hoping to have them done in a couple of months. One thing that we'd like to begin this year is a community intel camera program. One thing that we found out last year with some of our major cases, including the homicides, is video surveillance helped us solve cases. And we relied on private cameras, so we would like to, and I'm going to be asking you folks to consider something in a couple months, putting up cameras that are owned by the city, that collect data, collect intel, that help us solve crimes. And I'll prepare that and present that to you in the next month or two. It's not a big brother camera where we have access to it all the time. It's intel. So it lets us know if a vehicle comes into our community and that person is wanted, or a sexual offender, or there's an abducted person in that car, we're notified right away. Other communities have gone to these cameras. They're called Flock. You probably read some in the news. Sioux City, Storm Lake, Sioux Falls, South Sioux City, North Sioux City, Sergeant Bluff, they've all started putting those cameras in. So it's something I'm going to present to you in a month or two.
Kevin, on the
Yes.
Privately owned cameras, are you anticipating like having people sign up and volunteer and say, I have a Ring camera, I have an outside camera, or do you just do it per incident and you go to the neighborhood and ask?
Both. Right now, they can do that. They can go to our community policing page and they can register their camera. We don't have access to their camera. We just know that they have a camera. They can do that. And if there is a crime committed, we will canvass the neighborhood. We will knock door to door. We'll find out if they have a camera.
Great.
Yeah, so both. On page 5, that just lists our training that we went through in 2024. Officers spend roughly about 100 hours each in training throughout the year. On page 6, some of the crimes that were up this year were homicides, domestics, trespassing, sexual abuse, and thefts. So I indicated that crimes against persons and crimes against property were up, and those are the categories that are up. Our incidents and calls by the day of the week. Last year, our biggest day, or busiest day, was Wednesday. This year, it happens to be Tuesday, followed by Monday and Wednesday. But generally, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are our busiest days.
What's generally a trespassing?
Trespassing is
Generally.
remaining on somebody's property without their consent or entering somebody's property without their consent.
And that's up 2%?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say so.
Does that include businesses that have asked someone to leave and then they trespass them because they
Correct.
don't leave or they come back?
Correct. So a business may issue somebody a trespass notice, and if they come back on the property, they'll contact us.
Okay.
Moving on to page 7, incidents by time of day. This is pretty consistent with last year. Our busiest time of the day is between noon and 6, and followed by 6 p.m. until midnight. And our third busiest is 6 a.m. until noon. Calls for service. These would be everything that is done in-house. These are not reported to the state of Iowa for any reporting reasons necessarily. Things that were up this year are our programs, our vehicle theft exams, our community policing contacts. Things that are down a little bit are parking. We have not issued a single even parking this year, which is fine. And I'm not sure we're going to get any snow, so we may not this year. Animal calls are down and agency assists are down compared to last year.
But you would still like people to move their cars.
Absolutely. We still want them to follow the odd even. We're not willing to give it up completely yet. We're giving warnings out every night. I think on average 6 to 10 warnings we're giving out. So a majority of the population and and everybody in the community is cooperating.
I really appreciate that attitude. I mean, I do.
Yeah.
That's the approach I'd like.
Yeah.
If it snows, we get the heavy hammer out.
No, and we said from day one, once we get that first significant snow that requires a snow plow, we'll write tickets.
Right.
Haven't had it, so we'll stick with it.
Knock on whatever this stuff is.
Moving on to page 8, accidents. We're down a little bit from 2023, which is good. We're down 13. We have not had a fatal accident since 2021, so we are actually doing pretty good. And injury accidents, I think we maybe are up 1 or 2 from last year. Citations and warnings, like I indicated, parking violations are down. Overall traffic stops are up. And 79% of traffic stops result in a person getting a warning. On the arrest side of things, we are down a little bit from last year. I think the biggest difference from this year to last year is we had big cases this year that took up a lot of our time. I had Justin look over the amount of time that we spent on one of the homicides. Was it 600? 500 to 600 hours of man hours that we spent on one case. So we have less time to do other things when we have big cases like that.
Right.
Our evidence property intake this year was up quite a bit. That mainly was because of the big cases that we had. That's up to 859, a 30% increase from last year. And then what I did for you is a 20-year comparable for calls of service. I went back to 2024, 14, and 2024, just to kind of give you a decades to decades comparable on what's happening in Lamar's and how that's impacting our department and how we're handling that. And lastly, the last page is just some pictures of some of our community policing engagement in the community. And I can take any questions that you've got.
So on your 20-year comparison, your gray column is 2024, 14,512 is total calls?
Total calls.
It's just total calls?
That would include everything, traffic stops, incidents, complaints, and our calls for service.
Okay. And the school resource officer, I don't think that's a measurable one. I think you can't measure how much it's helped, not knowing what it has helped. I think it's a fantastic deal. Is that a cost share, or are we fully taking it now?
No, it's about a 50-50 split. The city is paying about 50%. The schools are actually going to up their portion next year a little bit. And then we have some community partners that donate to the school resource program. So it's about a 50-50 split.
What's the total budget line item on that?
Roughly $120,000 for employee and all costs associated with that employee. That right, Joe? Give or take?
Yeah.
This is not a political thing, but I was wondering what your take is on the hands-free proposed bill that's being proposed in
Right.
Iowa. It's on illegal use of cell phone while driving. Will that help the city of Lamar's? Will it increase your workload immensely, or?
I think anything that we can do to improve safe driving and deter distracted driving is good. What they have found in places where they have implemented those laws, they're still hard to enforce because the officer has to prove that they saw the violation and it wasn't just somebody manipulating the phone a little bit. So it kind of goes to stopping somebody and finding somebody that's honest and saying, yes, I was on my phone. But this could be something new for us. We'll wait for guidance from the state on what to look for. We'll talk to our prosecutor about, what elements are there for the crime. Is just having the phone in your hand going to be enough? Is it going to have to be to the ear? Well, that's stuff that we'll have to have some guidance from the state, from the city attorney. I think it's a good thing moving forward. It may be a little difficult to enforce.
Any other questions, Chief? Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Department.
Thank you.
Chamber of Commerce.
Hello. That was a tough act to follow. Good afternoon. My name is Lori French, and I serve as the Executive Director for Lamar's Chamber of Commerce. I want to begin by saying thank you. We could not have accomplished all the things that we did last year without your support. So, this is a report for 2024. Our chamber was comprised of 222 members, reflecting an increase of 25 new members. We started the year with our annual dinner. We had a speaker, VJ Smith. Our focus for 2024 was to enhance the clarity and the structure within the chamber while aligning more closely with the city's initiatives. So, to achieve this, first of all, we undertook some renovations. Hopefully you guys got a chance to see those, of our office space. We wanted to have a positive first impression when people walked in. This included updating the walls and primary meeting area, adding graphics and planning further updates to come shortly. And then this, not just those like cosmetic things, but we've established a new purpose, vision, and mission. So our new purpose is to advocate for a thriving and vibrant community where individuals choose to live, visit, work, and play. And then our mission is to cultivate an inclusive and vibrant community by promoting economic growth, supporting local businesses, enhancing the quality of life for all. Our vision is to position Lamar's as a destination community. Throughout the year, we hosted 55 community coffees, a name change that emphasizes our commitment to networking and community engagement. Our goal is to encourage chamber businesses to participate and showcase all they do best. This marks a 30% increase from the previous year, and we already have 38 coffees that are already booked for 2025. Additionally, we organized 10 after 5 events, which was a 50% increase from 2023. Our team of ambassadors has also grown, with 15 more individuals from various chamber businesses helping us talk about the chamber and participate in chamber events. We are immensely grateful for them stepping up. We assisted in asking the farmers market to move downtown and cultivate a strong relationship with Rob. Our volunteer base has grown over 70 individuals, many of whom have become friends. While some businesses may not be able to contribute financially, they do donate their time, which equates to approximately $28 per hour. And we do need all the assistance we can get. The Chamber is actively involved in LBIC meetings. We appreciate the partnership with Mark Gall, his insights are invaluable. Additionally, we conduct MAP, which are Members Action Plan meetings with our members to brainstorm ideas. We distribute welcome baskets to newcomers in town, providing an opportunity to share the exciting developments in Lamars. Our referral system is another crucial aspect of our operations, whether through phone calls or in-person visits, ensuring the citizens are connected to chamber resources. Our marketing efforts included highlighting local events and businesses through What's Now and around Siouxland, notably promoting ice cream days in Pioneer Village. We assisted with vendor coordination, sponsorships, and the main parade during ice cream days, which highlights this great ice cream capital of the world, as well as a great deal of chamber members that make it up. Did I mention Maggie and I wore ice cream cones and screamed lots of great things on TV and throughout media about Lamars. During the Christmas season, we participated as elves for the Christmas in Hometown Lamars celebration, bringing some cheerful smiles to many families. Furthermore, we organized Pioneer Village from mid-September to December, attracting approximately 5,000 visitors despite our Midwest weather. Our efforts also included holiday promotions and Shop for a Cause. This runs from the beginning of November through December, or through Christmas. We raised $1,000 for 2 nonprofits in town, which highlights our commitment to the community. Our chamber remains committed to supporting the agriculture community. We have a great ag committee, and it's actually led by Janelle Johnson. And we're incredibly proud of this because there's not many chambers that have such a strong ag commitment. We do this by highlighting, this year we highlighted technology in the field at the Round Barn, raising awareness of innovations in the field. And then Maggie and I hosted bingo, inviting our friends from local businesses and banks to assist. It's really a highlight. We are packed with people from Wednesday through Sunday. We also held an ag luncheon in March for Ag Day. We had 2 speakers, and in the fall we do local tours and teach 4th graders where their food comes from. And then afterwards we have a picnic, so they might get a beef burger, lamb, or pork. They never know, so it's a surprise. I mentioned just a few things that we promote in Lamars, but we attend a great deal of events to grow the chamber or promote others. So we go to the KLEM Business Showcase, which is Thursday. Amazon Hub meetings, 2 fashion shows in May and October, presentations at Rotary and Kiwanis meetings, attendance at the Plymouth County Fair Board meetings, assistance with the NWIA golf tournament, which is a significant highlight for Lamars and the golf community. We also promoted 2 sip-and shops in early spring and fall. We took part in 2 parades to promote Christmas in Hometown, organized 3 lunch and learns. We did Halloween Fun, which is about 2,000 kids plus parents downtown. The golf tournament that we have in August saw record participation with 62 teams joining us. Of course, to do all of these things, we have lots of planning meetings. I attend city council meetings, and we do certificates of origin. We actively participated in design committee meetings and distributed 6 facade grants, a total of $56,527. We still believe in the Main Street philosophy, even though we are not a Main Street community any longer. Our promotions committee meets once a month and helps to find new ways to bring people into this great community and also to increase our traffic into the businesses. I attend historic preservation meetings. We have a large historical area and we want to preserve that, and it does really enhance our community. We are proud of our history and where Lamar's came from. We also highlight people within our community, and there's so many people that make a difference. So we do give out our annual awards. We have the best businesses, citizens, and leaders in Lamar's. We also highlight our members online, whether it's our Facebook site or website. Facebook, this year we went from 3,359 followers to 3,938, which doesn't seem like a significant amount, but actually in the world of Facebook that is. People are excited to see what's happening, and our monthly reach now encompasses about 23,000 individuals when we post something. Our website has 7,000 visitors, which is an increase from last year, and we have spent time highlighting our top investors, chamber dollars, and trying to add pages of interest. In conclusion, I want to thank Jason, the mayor, Joe, of course, for the money, and the city council for approving it. I appreciate your partnership. Together, the chamber and the city are making positive things happen. You can see it, you can feel it. Thank you for all the businesses within the chamber here in Lamar's that understand the impact the chamber has and will continue to have. So, any questions? It's a lot.
I just want to thank you, thank Maggie, thank the chamber board. As an ex officio member of that board, I'm always impressed every meeting I go to. I listen, and the influence of the people that come in there is positive, and it is showing an impact on our community. So I want to thank all of you. So
Thank you.
I don't know if this falls under you or not, but I only hear positive things about the chamber.
Well, I hope so, that's us.
But are you in charge, except for one, and it's constantly the same criticism every year after year after year, if you're in charge of it, and that is that the Ice Cream Days parade is way too short. It packs people in way too tight, and that parade route needs to be expanded.
Officers?
It does, it needs to be, I get it.
Actually, we're just following the rules that are in place.
Oh, not the route.
Yeah.